Hello, everyone. Dr. Melissa Tranquille here. Once again, you can call me Melissa. I'm the director and founder of MT Training Enterprises Limited. I'm so excited to be here again for another work from home episode. We're on episode 8 already, and we're still on lockdown here in the UK. And I know for many parts of the world as well, lockdown has been extended. I trust that all of you are safe, you and your families are safe. And it's a pleasure to be here to help those of you who are working from home, to give you some tips every day from Monday to Friday on things that you can do to make your work from home experience one that is less stressful, more productive, and more joyous. Because really and truly, the idea of working from home is much easier said than done. And this is particularly true if you don't put certain things in place, some of which I have been teaching already, and some of which we will be talking about very soon. I mean, just imagine this scenario. Imagine that you are a work from home mom or dad. You're very busy. You have your designated office hours. Perhaps your office hours might be consistent office hours throughout the day with a break for lunch and break. And if that's the case for you, then that's wonderful. And perhaps you have someone to watch the children, you have someone to take care of childcare, you have a childminder to watch the children, or whether they go out to school. But at the moment, we know that kids are home, and maybe you might have someone, a grandmom or someone, to watch the kids at home, so that while you're working, you can get along with it, and don't have to see about those issues during that time that you're working. That's one scenario. Consider another scenario. Perhaps you're like me, where you have the kids at home and you have to work from home. You have to split your hours, and you still have to make time to homeschool them. You still have to make time to take care of them and ensure that they are safe, and at times that they are occupied in a constructive way. Now, for either scenarios, for either scenarios, it is quite possible that the chores at home pile up, and that the expectation of others is that you're supposed to have dinner on the table on time, and the house should have been tidied, and the clothes should have been washed, the dishes should have been washed. In other words, the chores should have gotten done because you're at home. So there is that expectation sometimes that although you're working from home, there is this subconscious expectation that, why is this not done? Why are the dishes not done? Why is dinner late? Has that ever happened to you? Is that the case for you and your family? And if that's the case, it can be very stressful. It can be very frustrating. And hence, today's tip number 8 is called delegate, or if you don't like the word delegate, share responsibilities. Delegate or share responsibilities. So the first thing, I want to leave you with three things on that topic. And the first thing is, when you're working at home, you have your designated hours, whether you have consistent hours of 9 to 5 with your breaks in between, or whether you have split shifts like I work, regardless of the time. Sometimes my split shift, for instance, yesterday was, I think, at 10 in the night till about 2 in the morning, because during the day it was a bit difficult. I really had to be with the kids, and I had put in some work earlier that morning, and there were some things that I had to get done because the week is ending. So regardless of your time of your split shift, but in either scenarios, I can't remember the point I was making. My brain is going faster. In either cases, you have to make a deliberate, let's say a deliberate effort, that when you're working from home, regardless of what your hours are, once you are during your working hours, your office hours, that you make a deliberate effort to put the chores of the house out of your mind. That if you're on your break, for instance, like I work from home and I take a break to get coffee, That if when I go into that kitchen to get my cup of coffee, put the kettle on, I'm not looking at the dishes. Now, in the early days, this was very hard for me because I didn't always used to work from home. I had corporate job. At one time I was a teacher, at one time I had a corporate job. So it was not always the case, but in the early days, it was a struggle. It was a struggle because I couldn't see the house out of order. I mean, now what I try to do is the evening before, I make sure at least my living, at least wherever I'll be working, and my living where I will be about in the house for different things, is in order, because I don't like disorder. But yet still, if there are dishes in the sink, if there are things that need to get done, the clothes to wash, whatever it is, whatever the chores are, I have learned to see but don't see, because right now it's my office hours. So you have to make a deliberate effort. That's number one. You make a deliberate effort to ignore the chores that need to be done when it is your designated office hours. Now, the second thing I want to leave you with, as with regards to our tip number 8, is that you need to have a conversation with your loved ones on their expectation. Because if you don't have a conversation with your loved ones on their expectation, you can find that eventually conflicts arise in the house because people have, this subconscious belief or that dinner should have been there on time. Why is dinner not there yet? You were in the house. So you need to have a conversation with your loved ones, what your office hours are, and that it is important that this is respected. So that level of respect has to be instilled in the home. That's the second thing I want to leave. And once that is done, it becomes much easier when the time comes now to delegate or share responsibilities. It is taken in a harmonious way. It's accepted in a more harmonious way because persons have that level of respect and understand that you were working. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, give this video a heart. And the last thing I want to leave with you is, now that you're working from home, and many people around the world, millions of people around the world right now are working from home, the last thing I want to leave with you is to delegate responsibilities. So once your office hours are over, if you don't like the word delegate, share, then say share. Share responsibilities or share the chores. This will make your work from home experience one that is definitely less stressful. You wouldn't feel that burden, the burden of having to work from home and to carry the entire household upon your shoulder. So whether you're a single mom, whether you're married, whether you have children or you don't have children, you share the responsibilities, because you were also working from home. The one person went out to work if you have a partner, the other is at home. You both were working. If you have children, that's great as well. You share or delegate responsibilities. Now, the great thing is you can even delegate responsibilities to the little ones, because for the toddlers, for instance, it helps to teach them, the fine and gross motor skills. Because I have toddlers. They can put, for instance, the clothes into the washing machine. I have big ones. Someone does the vacuuming, someone does the tidying while I could start working on dinner. So I do that a lot. I share the responsibilities. I don't overburden my kids. They have at least 1 or 2 chores a day. I don't overburden them. But nonetheless, sharing those responsibilities and giving your children chores as well is quite beneficial for them, because it will help them to develop self-reliance, responsibility, some self-discipline, um, knowing how to fulfill a goal, because whatever that goal is, for instance, even with tidying up, one of my son who does tidying up, Sam, he knows how I likes it, and it's always done the way I like it. So he knows the expectation. It's not a matter of just throwing things here or hiding this here, but it's done properly. So he fulfills that goal very well. It also teaches them teamwork, because all of us are working as a team. And you find in working as a team, it may have taken me maybe 2 hours to get it all done by myself on an afternoon. But because we're working as a team, we were able to get everything done in 40 minutes, and then everyone can go have some fun. So tip number 8, you're working from home, you want to make it less stressful, You want to lessen that burden and still be productive and still make that experience one that's more joyous from you. You delegate or share responsibilities. Are you doing that right now in your own home? I would love to know. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and remember to subscribe so you can keep up with the next video or the upcoming videos. If you ever want to know more about me, hop over to my website, www.mttrainingenterpriseslimited.com. Thank you, and see you with tip number 9, next week. Bye.